OCO, what's good, what's good? Yeah, this is Red Bird. What's going on? Yeah, much love to the original. Shout out to my subscribers, you know what I'm saying? Hope y'all having a wonderful day. You know what I'm saying? And this is part 2 of the story, history of Matoaka, aka Pocahontas. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to get into this, you know what I'm saying? Last time on the first part that I dropped, a few days ago, I was talking about, Disney's Pocahontas versus real life. And this is some of a continuation of that. And this is Disney's Pocahontas 2 versus in real life. Okay, it says back in England, Disney's Pocahontas 2. Back in England, Ratcliffe tries to have Smith killed. Smith escapes but decides to lay low. Pocahontas hears that he has died in real life. When Smith was evacuated to England for treatment of his gunpowder wound in October of 1609, the colonists told Pocahontas that he had died. Still believing that Virginia is full of gold, Ratcliffe schemes up a war. King James appoints him admiral of the invasion armada, real life. The same month Smith left Virginia, in October of 1609, Ratcliffe was caught by the Indians and died a horrible death. Handsome diplomat John Rolfe is dispatched to Virginia. He manages to mistake Pocahontas for the chief at first, but recovers quickly. Real life. While Pocahontas was being held hostage at Jamestown in 1613, she met colonist John Rolfe, a successful tobacco planter and sincere Christian. She converted to Christianity and married him in April of 1614. Pocahontas and Rolfe rushed to England on a desperate mission to avert the war. Real life. The peace of Pocahontas began with the marriage of Pocahontas to John Rolfe. Their son Thomas was born around 1615. In 1616, the Virginia Company sent the Rolfe family on a promotional English tour with several of other Indians and colonists. Disney's Pocahontas 2, this says that this guy name starts with a U. It's it's Uttamatonmakkin. It's supposed to tally the population of England by cutting a notch in his stick for each man he sees. He soon gives up. That is a true story. Pocahontas attends the hunt ball at the royal court where Ratcliffe sets a trap for her. She is arrested and thrown into prison at the Tower of London. Real life. Pocahontas attends the lavish 12th night mosque at the royal court. A great time was had by all. Yeah, it says Pocahontas is relieved to see John Smith alive as he and John Rolfe rescue her from the tower. Real life. John Smith did visit Pocahontas. She was so shocked she hid her face and could not speak for 2 or 3 hours. Finally, she said, they did tell me always you were dead, and I knew no other till I came to Plymouth. Yet Powhatan did command, this is a guy with a U name, did command you to seek you and know the truth, because your countrymen will lie much. Pocahontas and John Rolfe set sail for Virginia. Love is in the air. The end. Real life. The Rolfe family set sail for Virginia, but disease was in the air. Pocahontas died at Gravesend. Okay, it says too that one good thing about Pocahontas too was that you didn't come away from it thinking that Pocahontas married John Smith. You knew that John Rolfe was a different guy or wore at one point to Disney. Huh. Yeah, and this is a fact about Chief Powhatan. It says that Powhatan was the father of Pocahontas. As a young chief, Powhatan inherited the leadership of 8 tribes, which he built into a loose empire controlling Chesapeake Bay and its tributary rivers, bounded on the west by the fall line, basically Tidewater, Virginia. Yeah, shout out to VA. Plus, he had some control over Maryland and the Eastern Shore. As this N word, I'm assuming it means chief or leader, but it's spelled Manatowick. But it says as that he ruled over 28 tribes, or maybe 34, depending on how you count them. His domain had a hard core and soft edges. Each Powhatan tribe had its own villages with houses of bark over wooden frames. They planted corn, vegetables, and tobacco. They hunted and fished. Every few years, the local land would be depleted, so they would abandon the old village and rebuild a few miles away. In 1607, English colonists of the Virginia Company arrived, hoping to make their fortune as depicted in the movie. Initially, they built a wooden palisade fort, James Fort, which gradually became the English colony village of Jamestown or Jamestown. Relations in the early days were chaotic. On any given week, the settlers at James Fort could be fighting with one of Powhatan's tribes, while trading peacefully with others. The various tribes fought with each other as well. Powhatan lived long and allegedly had 100 wives with one child by each. There were a dozen known children of his. Pocahontas was his favorite. King James had Powhatan coronated Emperor of Virginia. This made Pocahontas a princess, theoretically outranking a lot of the English nobility when she visited England. The English had not yet decided how to treat savages. Crazy. Yeah, and this right here is some information about Captain John Smith. It says Captain John Smith really was the intrepid soldier adventurer portrayed in the Disney movie Pocahontas, other than his looks and personality. He was a short man who wore a beard. Like many famous shorties, he was feisty, abrasive, self-promoting, and ambitious. He was an experienced soldier and adventurer, the man who boldly went out and got things done. If not for him, the colony may have failed at the start, according to him anyway. The Disney movie Pocahontas centers on the most famous incident in the lives of all involved, in which Pocahontas rescued John Smith from execution by her father Powhatan. Captain John Smith himself is the sole source for this tale, and a book he wrote several years afterwards. It was not in his initial report and was not mentioned by other writers at the time, so historians have always wondered what really went on. This famous incident may never have happened, since Smith liked to tell stories about himself being rescued by famous ladies. Perhaps John Smith made it up. Perhaps it was a show orchestrated by Powhatan. With Pocahontas saving John Smith as planned, perhaps it went down just as Smith described. His stay in Virginia was compressed in the movie. He arrived in 1607, was rescued by Pocahontas that winter, became council president in September of 1608, and was shipped back to England on a stretcher in October 1609 after a mysterious incident in which his powder bag exploded, injuring his leg. During that time, he did a lot of exploring trading, negotiating, arguing, and fighting, both with the Indians and with other colonists. Afterwards, he largely supported himself by writing about his experiences. And this right here is a brief, uh, you know, description of the life of Kokon, one of the other Powhatan Indians. And his name is spelled Kocoun. The only thing we really know about Kokon is an offhand written comment that she had been married to Kokon, a captain of Powhatan. Disney chose to assume that Powhatan arranged their marriage, but that Kokon was killed before it was finalized. Powhatan chiefs would sometimes give a young daughter an honorary marriage, often to form an alliance. When they grew up, their marriage might become real, or they might decide to marry someone else. What really happened there? Your guess is as good as any. The Indians also had a tradition of divorce by capture, which required the husband of a stolen wife to recapture her. Since Kokon did not rescue her from the colonists, then Pocahontas was unmarried when John Rolfe asked for her hand in marriage. Yeah, man, that's a lot of good information, you know what I'm saying, about Pocahontas and Chief Powhatan. But this is from my research and this article. This is the real, actual events of Pocahontas' life, you know. And I knew about Pocahontas because, you know, she's known for being a historic, you know, figure in just history in general, you know. But just the research I've been doing and this, and I still want to research more. And I'm trying to find a book on her life too as well that I can, you know, find out more about her. But this article right here, you know, really opened my eyes to a lot of truth about her life and what she's, you know, went through and everything, you know. Because all I ever knew about her was what I was told, or either the Disney movie. So it was, you know, it was good, you know, seeing this, you know, finding this out. And yeah, I'm gonna end this right here, but I got a part 3 of this coming up soon. Just be on the lookout for that. And I'm gonna go into some information that's about John Rolfe, and also some information about the Powhatan Indians, and also the New World movie, which came out in the year 2005. But yeah, man, you know, shout out to the originals, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, much love to y'all. You know, OCO, much respect. And this is Red Bird 1.